The very first minute must feel like the opening of a grand royal documentary, rich, emotional, and impossible to skip. Start with a voice that speaks directly to the heart of the listener. Before the world knew their names, before the crowns rested on their heads, there were two hearts that learned to love, to hurt, to dream. If Princess Sofia has ever inspired you, share this story now. If Princess Lenore has ever touched your heart, subscribe to this channel. Follow this with an immediate wave of curiosity. Hint that both princesses have unspoken secrets, a beauty that cannot be captured by paintings, and a kindness that changes lives. Use poetic, vivid language that feels like music to the ears. Describe how their presence can silence storms, how their smiles carry warmth across kingdoms, and how their eyes tell stories of both joy and longing. Paint an almost cinematic portrait of Princess Lenore. Physical appearance, the softness of her hair under the sunlight, the way her gown sways like whispers of the wind, the sparkle in her eyes that seems to hold the morning dew. Voice and demeanor, gentle like a lullaby, words chosen with care, the way she pauses before speaking, as if measuring kindness in every syllable. Innocence, show through small moments, her joy in feeding swans, her fascination with butterflies, her habit of writing secret poems in the margins of old books, her childhood wandering the castle gardens, learning music from the royal harpist, secretly helping the kitchen staff prepare meals for the poor. Emotional depth. Times when she felt loneliness despite the crown, moments when she sat by her window watching the moon and wishing for true friendship. Describe her kindness as a force of change. Stories of when she healed a wounded bird, listened to an old villager's life story for hours, or gave away her favorite necklace to a child in need. Shift into the energy and charisma of Princess Sofia. Physical presence. A confident yet graceful walk, eyes like shining stars that see every detail, hair that flows like midnight silk. Nature and personality. Wise beyond her years, a natural-born leader, the kind of person whose advice can calm arguments and whose laughter can lighten the heaviest hearts. Backstory. Her love for reading ancient scrolls, spending hours in the palace library, her fascination with maps and the dream of uniting all lands, her friendship with royal guards, treating them as equals. Leadership moments. Times she resolved disputes between villages, the day she personally led a rescue during a storm, the way she inspired her people during the hardest winters. How she secretly writes letters to herself about her fears, her longing to see the ocean, her wish for someone who understands her beyond the crown. Interwoven moments, approx. 10 minutes. Compare and contrast their personalities in a poetic way. Lenore's innocence like a spring morning, Sofia's wisdom like a winter's night. Describe how both bring balance to the kingdom. One through warmth and empathy, the other through guidance and vision. Share a scene where they meet in the palace garden under moonlight, exchanging heartfelt words about their dreams and fears, showing the depth of their bond. Use slow, descriptive narration so the script naturally fills 1 hour. Every paragraph should paint a visual picture using sensory language, sights, sounds, scents, and emotions. Avoid modern slang. Keep the language timeless, like a story told by a royal storyteller. Maintain a steady rhythm with occasional pauses for dramatic effect. End with a soft, emotional close. In their world of crowns and castles, it is not jewels that shine the brightest, but hearts that love the deepest. Begin with the early hours of the palace, the echo of distant bells, the soft rustle of curtains in Lenore's private chambers, the faint scent of jasmine from her balcony garden. Describe how she walks barefoot on polished marble floors before the palace wakes, her silk gown trailing behind like whispers. She keeps a collection of pressed flowers in a hidden box beneath her bed. each from a place she visited as a child. Childhood memories. Her early lessons in the rose gardens, where an elderly governess taught her to speak softly but think boldly. The first time she learned to ride a horse, falling into the grass and laughing until her cheeks turned red. Secret, hobbies, and passions. Writing delicate poetry by candlelight, never showing it to anyone. Playing a small silver flute in her room at night, so softly that only the moon hears her songs. Feeding swans at the royal pond and naming each one. Fears and struggles. A quiet fear of thunderstorms, leading her to hide in the library during heavy rains. The loneliness of the crown. Moments when the halls felt too large and the echoes too empty. Doubts about whether she truly has the strength to rule. Acts of kindness. Visiting the servants' quarters in secret to bring them handmade gifts. Helping a stable boy nurse a sick foal back to health. Giving her most precious bracelet to a crying child in the market. Emotional depth. Nights spent at her window watching distant village lights, wondering about the lives being lived beyond the palace gates. A diary entry where she wrote about wishing to walk freely in the rain without guards. Princess Sofia, The Wise Flame, approx. 1 hour. Daily life and atmosphere. Before dawn, the faint glow of candlelight in Sofia's study, where maps, scrolls, and quills cover the desk. Practicing with her sword in the silent courtyard, her breath visible in the morning air. Childhood memories. Following her father into the council chamber, listening quietly from the corner. Climbing the tallest tower with Lenore to watch the sunrise, making a promise to always protect each other. Secret hobbies and passions. Collecting ancient coins from faraway lands. Writing letters to foreign princesses she has never met, hoping to learn about their worlds. Secretly practicing the violin when no one is around. Fears and struggles. The heavy responsibility of leadership pressing on her since she was a teenager. Fear of making a decision that might harm the kingdom. Private moments of frustration where she tears up letters and throws them into the fire. Acts of kindness. Leaving fresh bread at the castle gates for hungry children. Visiting sick villagers at night to avoid attention. Paying for the education of a farmer's daughter without revealing her name. Emotional depth. Standing alone on the palace balcony, whispering to the stars about her dreams of seeing the ocean. Writing in her journal about the longing for someone who loves her not for her crown, but for her soul. Their bond. Late-night conversations in Lenore's chambers about love, fear, and freedom. Secret adventures through hidden palace corridors that only they know about. Sitting together in silence, watching rain hit the stained glass windows. Holding hands before important royal events, exchanging a silent promise that they are never alone.